All right, so now that we talked about household acids and bases, how do you know in the chemistry lab if you're looking at an acid or a base? And this needs to go away. Okay, the answer is, as always, first of all, you can look at the reference table. So there is reference table K is just a list of common acids, and reference table L will be down here. It's just a list of common bases. So the first thing you can do is you can just look them up. And if you look at their names, they always end in acid. So if you were holding like a bottle of chemical and it had the name on it, it should say acid. If all you had was the formula, take a look at these formulas. If all you have is the formula, how are you going to know if you're looking at an acid? Probably. What do all these formulas have in common? What do they all have? If you look at all these formulas, okay, they all have an H out in front. Right? So that's how you're usually going to identify an acid. And the reason they do that is because what you'll learn later is that acids are really good at giving away H's. That's what makes them so special. They just give away H's. So they put them right out front to be like, hey, look at me. I have all these H's to give. Take them. And that's kind of our way of signaling that that's an acid. All right. And then if we scroll down to bases, come on, scroll. If you look at the list of common bases, you can see you could always just go to table L. So if you're trying to figure something out on a test or something, my first thing would be go to this table of common bases, because you could like guess, okay, this says H out in front, it's probably an acid. But if it's on the list, you'll know that you're definitely right, especially with bases because they get a little trickier. So the list of common bases is table L. And if you look at their name, there's not really anything there that tells you that it's a base, so that's kind of hard. So that'd be why you'd want to look it up on this table. And then if you look at their formula, you can find something that most have in common. All right, so look at these formulas. What do most bases have in common? OH at the end, OH at the end, OH in the end, not OH on the end. So you can sometimes identify a base because it has OH at the end, but not always. So you are going to want to especially use this table if you can. All right. And then, oops, there is one more thing that makes bases tricky is that there is something else that ends in OH, and that is an alcohol. And you can't mix up your bases and your alcohols, okay? Because one, people like to drink or use for like sanitary purposes, like in hand sanitizer, and the other one is for cleaning. So you don't want to drink a base, right? People want to drink alcohol. So yes, they do usually have OHs, but not always. So you want to check the chart. So how are you going to know if it's a base ending in OH or an alcohol ending in OH? A base is going to be an OH bonded to any metal. So remember, metals or anything to the left of the staircase. And then an alcohol is an OH bonded to something else that's not a metal. Usually it's a C and an H like this. So if you see an OH stuck onto some C's and H's, that's an alcohol. If you see an OH stuck onto some metals, that's a base. All right. So the easiest way would be to check the chart, but if you can't do it, you can use this technique.